I want to show you how to navigate yourself through PicsArt, through the instructions that I have written for you, and that way you can create your own map to paint from. So you just open up the PicsArt app. There's going to be a lot of advertisements, just ignore those. You want to click on the add a photo, go in and select from your photos. So for my photos, I took this picture this morning, got to play with a little puzzle with my mother this morning. And the first thing you want to do is find a photo that has high contrast, right? Or an image, all right? If you're starting from an image that you've taken. We also are working in a square format. So the first thing we're going to do is go into crop. They have options for you across the bottom. So we're going to choose square. And now I can just adjust my image. I want to have a little bit of my fish, a little bit of my cup and handle. There we go. That's about good. Apply that in the top right. And then I'm going to go back to tools. I'm going to click on this adjustment tab right here. And on the adjustments, the first thing I want to do is go to saturation. And because we are going to be painting and understanding value is the most important part, we're going to remove all the color. So I'm desaturating it, apply. Then we're going to go back into tools and adjust again. And we're going to go to contrast now. Now you want to increase the contrast a little bit, so that there's a really intense difference between the brightest whites and the darkest darks. And you want to make sure that's a little bit in your initial image to begin with. That's why I like the black of the table compared to the white of my teacup there, as well as the edge of the table to the window and how it silhouettes some of my plants on the table. Okay, about there looks good to me. So when I say adjust contrast, this is where you make some decisions, yeah? Apply in the top right. And now we're going to go into, we're done with the tools, and we're going to go into the effects, which is right next door to tools. You want to select artistic. That's the one that's in blue here at the very bottom. And in artistic, there's a bunch of different options you can choose from. The one we want to work with is poster. Feel free to look into these, people. This is a really cool app. There's a lot of fun stuff in there. Once you select the sliding scale adjustment levels there, you have these options of colors, details, and fade. When you push fade over to the left, the areas of your shapes become larger, yeah? When you push fade to the right, they get softer and they disappear. You want to keep fade almost to 0, definitely below 10. And then we're going to come up into details, and this is where you can increase for visibility, how many details you want to see, okay? About there, I can still see what's happening with not too many details. We can click on it and zoom in to check. Look at the nice separation of values that's happening in there. And now you have to think, okay, when you come to trace this, because the idea is to print this out to scale and then trace it, which is another step, do you want to navigate all of that detail? And of course you can make edits along the way tracing, but all those values that my hand and finger has just turned into, you don't have to think about because the app does that for you. I like the way it simplified my fish down to just those simple shapes, yeah? And now, I'm going to say, oh sorry, one more. In colors, if you adjust the colors, because we've turned this to black and white, by shifting color, you're shifting the amount of detail that's visible. So watch the teacup, yeah? The teacup isn't going to change too much, but the puzzle is changing pretty dramatically. So I would keep colors. So if we go down to 0, that's what will happen, right? So if we slowly increase the colors, you're slowly increasing the amount of darks and lights and the range. Okay, so having my colors, I'm looking at the fishbowl, looking at my plants. Oh my God, excuse me, I'm so sorry. Okay, apply. And next I'm going to save this. Save to my camera roll. Okay, and then you can choose to save it again, download. And it's been saved to my photos as well. So now you have an image. Hopefully that should help you. And you can do that with any image that you like. And hopefully that'll help you create your own paint by numbers, yes? Because it's really helpful to be able to take something that was complex like a fishbowl that's reflective, and you still get the idea even though it's just broken down into these really simplified shapes now. right? So that you don't have to work in brush strokes and you can think in areas of color. All right, folks. Good luck.